Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Fan Appreciation Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a movie from 1998. That movie is Dark City. Now, I don't know a thing about this movie, guys. I do happen to remember, back in 98, I do kind of remember television ads running for this movie. However, those memories essentially go as far as I saw ads for Dark City. That's literally as far as my memory goes. I couldn't tell you a thing about the plot, about the setting, about anything. And I haven't bothered to look up the trailer. I haven't bothered to read the back. I haven't bothered to look up a plot, summary. I don't know what I am getting into here. The only thing I can tell you is that every person who's told me about this movie have done nothing but heap mountains of praise on it, which means that there's a good chance that what I'm getting into here is an amazing movie. But I have had but there have been other movies in this series I have covered where every single person dumped tons and tons of praise on them, and at least to me, they wound up sucking hard. So there is that slight chance here. I'm certainly hoping for the movie to be good. However, I am completely ready if this thing winds up just kind of sucking. Now, I have no clue, guys. I don't know if this thing's supposed to be a mystery, or if it's supposed to be a thriller, if it's supposed to be an action flick. I have no idea. I have no idea what genre this is. I have no clue if this movie is any good. The only way I'm going to find out any of this is if I shut up and I push play, and I'm going to do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Dark City. Well, guys, this movie's not making a ton of sense right now, but the plus side is, at least I'm still interested enough to see if this story is going to go anywhere. So, at least we do have that. Well, guys, this movie has gone from interesting to kind of shit. Allow me to try to explain without giving away too much. This movie basically just blatantly came out and said that nothing in this entire film matters because everything that we are seeing that isn't involving these chittering cockroach people is all part of some grand fucking, experiment to try to find the human, soul. So that right there is why they keep swapping out people and all this other oddball shit. That means that there is no mystery, there is no real tension outside of this one fucking retard who's trying to find the truth. I'm certainly hoping for all of this to get better in the next hour, but somehow I really fucking doubt it. So, guys, it has been a while since this movie opted to dump its fucking twist on us. And instead of getting better, and instead of trying to fashion a story that is halfway decent, the movie has just decided to meander in nothingness, and it has decided to stay up its own fucking ass instead of trying to give us a reason to continue watching. This movie is becoming worse with every passing second, and I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. Well, guys, I'm still waiting for this movie to get good. I'm still waiting for it to get fucking interesting fucking again. I'm waiting for this movie to attempt to justify any of the idiotic horse shit it has dumped in front of me for the past hour. But I don't think I'm going to get any answers, and I don't think this movie's going to get any fucking better. Alright, guys, we were just treated to a wide-angle shot of the city, and it looked really cool and all. It's just sort of a pity that that's probably the only cool thing that this entire film has, is that one shot of the fucking city. Well, guys, that was Dark City. Let me shut that off. Okay, I'm going to start with the positives, because there are, guys, a lot of positives which I have to cover, and the negatives are going to take up a large portion of this, because even though I have a lot of stuff to praise, what I have to harp on is going to take a while. So positives. The acting here, for the most part, is really good. I genuinely liked almost all of the acting, except for the performance turned in by Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know why his character felt the urge to put a pause every third or fourth word, and felt the urge to put the absolutely wrong emphasis in every sentence, and he would essentially go and he would emphasize the wrong word in every sentence. His sentences were broken up by at least 4 large, loud fucking gasps, and that is how he is. Except for a bunch of fake memories towards, the end, when he's able to talk like a normal human being. I do not understand any of that, and there's probably something here that was cut that would probably have explained that a little bit. However, as it stands in the film, Sutherland's performance was shit, which is saying a lot because everybody else turned in a fantastic showing considering the script which was given. I'm going to get to writing in just a moment. Our sets here look fucking awesome. Our lighting here is really, really nice. What very little lighting is in this movie. The score here is good. The sound mix is good. The sound mix. When it comes to sound mix, there actually are a couple of lines which are dubbed in, very poorly. However, though, beyond those couple of moments, the sound mix here is really good. Special effects here are really solid. All of that would make for a fantastic film, because that's damn near everything. But now we get to dump into the negative. Writing. You see, because guys, a movie is only as good as the script which is given. And when your script is this stupid, you have nowhere to improve. Now, you can have the awesome sets, and you can have the fantastic acting, you can have the awesome score. All of that means nothing when your writing is this bad. Let me try to explain. The movie starts off, and you're just dropped into a murder mystery plot, and it sounded like a really promising murder mystery plot. Had something to do with spirals. I'm going to mention right now, there is absolutely no fucking payoff on the whole fucking spiral thing that got forced down our fucking throats early on. I saw zero payoff on why every single body was carved up with spirals, and why there was one cop who was drawing fucking spirals everywhere, and why the spirals just happen to look like a fingerprint, and why they happen to look almost like a rat's maze. There was no payoff on any of that. There was tons and tons of build-up, and the writers were too fucking lazy to actually pay it off, because they needed to dive into the actual story, which had something to do with bald, pale cockroach people who were basically keeping all of our characters prisoner in this city, because they are looking for the perfect mind in order to inject their hive mind memory into. And there's no real explanation as to why it has to be a person, and why they can't just try to find another way to live, because the only thing which we are ever told is that this race of people or creatures or whatever the fuck they are dying. But we are never told why or how, or why they aren't just trying to, breed, or why they aren't trying to find a place to fucking, colonize and thrive and live. No. Instead, we just have this city. Why? Fuck you. That's why. That really is the only reason we have for them to have all of these people. We don't even know where in the hell any of these people came fucking from. We don't know if they were born here. We don't know if they were created by the cockroach people in order to find the perfect, host for all of their memories. None of this shit is given to us. None of this shit is ever told to us. We basically are just told, big city, people, bald-headed fucking cockroach people who are dying and they're looking for the perfect human host in order to inject their memories into. In order to do that, they have to figure out the secret to being human, which they figure out by essentially changing up people's livelihoods, names, personalities, locations every 12 hours. Because every 12 hours, everybody just sort of passes out, and then the cockroach people are able to go in and basically start making poor people rich and start turning slums into like high rises, and just doing all this other dumb shit. Basically to see exactly how these people react when they're rich instead of poor, or if they or exactly how they fucking react when they are a janitor, and then when they are a cop, or when they're a normal person and when they're a serial killer, which is the only payoff we get for anything in this whole like murder fucking mystery thing we got at the very start, is that John was supposed to be their serial killer, and he woke up before they could shoot him up with the whole memory of a serial killer. And so then instead those memories are then shot into one of the cockroach people, who then basically starts taking on the mannerisms of a serial killer, and then the human memories are kind of sort of screwing with his body, and then he dies even faster. He dies faster than the rest of his people, which then tells me that if these fucking cockroach people are not able to take our memories, then how the fuck are we supposed to take theirs? I'm not totally sure if any of this was thought out by the writers of this film. Why is it then that John has all of the powers of the cockroach people, the strangers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, and instead of actually using it to try to get all of these people back home, or to try to force all of their old memories back in, he basically is just going to warp everything to what he wants it to be. And fuck anybody else who actually, wants freedom or happiness. It is all about his happiness, which means he has to recreate the childhood home that was put into his head during one of the recent reboots before he woke up. Guys, this whole thing to me just sort of feels like a dark, brooding, emo knockoff of fucking Overdrawn at the Memory Bank, which mind you that movie was so poorly made that it had the honor of being used in an episode of Mystery Science Theater. The fact that this thing here is just trying so desperately to cling on to that, and the very fact that this thing also later birthed The Matrix, which was able to handle this shitbag story at least slightly better, just sort of shows me, guys, that Dark City has nothing, alright? And mind you, guys, now there are a lot of people who are going to get a lot more out of this movie than I did, because there are a lot of people who are really into like dark fucking brooding, artsy shit, and that's totally fine. Rock on, guys, and love it. And mind you, and if you're totally into that kind of stuff, then yeah, guys, then Dark fucking City is going to be great for you. However, because I care more about substance over fucking style, and this thing here has almost no substance at all, and our main character has all of the charm and personality of a dry kitchen fucking sponge, I had no fun watching this, and that's really sad because I wanted to like it. I genuinely thought that this thing here was going to be a great film, and instead it is another piece of artsy garbage which puts style over substance, ultimately leaving us with an incredibly shallow and unfortunately shitty movie. I wanted to like this, and I am so disappointed that it wasn't good, that I just feel kind of terrible right now. So no, guys, I cannot recommend Dark City unless you are a person who's into dark, artsy films. And if you're into those, rock on, then this thing here is going to be perfect for you. And for everybody else, I doubt it. I really don't think a lot of other people are going to get a whole lot of love out of this movie. Now, because it's Fan Appreciation Month, Dark City came off the Amazon wish list, and I would love to give a shout out, but I can't because the person who sent it in did not send me a message. They did not leave their name on and they did not send their name on the shipping slip. I don't know who sent it in. I have no earthly clue who sent in Dark City, and whoever did, thank you, because I was genuinely curious if this movie was going to be any good, and I probably would never have bothered unless you had sent it in. And I do thank you. I genuinely wish that I could give you a shout out, but once more I can't because I have no name to actually attach to this movie. So anyway, guys, again, I genuinely wanted this movie to be good, and in the end, it ultimately was a little bit of a, letdown. But you know what? I mentioned over Drawn at the Memory Bank earlier, and that happens to be my favorite episode of Mystery Science Theater, and I do have it on DVD, so I'm gonna go and watch that because, well, I really do want to watch over fucking Drawn at the Memory Bank right now. So anyway, guys, with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.